So this is just part of the groceries for the trip to Lake Superior, to Thompson Island. I don't know where I'm gonna be able to put all of this. That's whole another story. The cart is fully loaded. I don't think I can get anything else back over here, but that's the last run. Everything is right now stocked up on the boat. I just gotta now slowly put everything away. That seems like a monumental task right now. Right, 12:23 is departure time. Beautiful moon. When getting alarms about shallow water, it's only 6 feet, which is plenty. Good start. Chicago is in the background. As always, just beautiful skyline. Heading north. So right now we have 11 true wind. Just went to check the Watt&C hydro generator and I'm packing 8 amps, almost 8.5, all over. So not bad. Day one, pretty tired, but I had a very good wind, and I got overnight all the way past Racine. The wind has died down a little bit. It's about 8 knots of true wind right now. I'm moving, so I'm happy about this. And there's big cloud cover, so for a while I couldn't get Starlink to work, but I just got out from under those clouds and it's becoming a pretty day. There are chances for showers and storms, scattered storms throughout the day. So we'll see how that's gonna go. There's still a lot of sailing ahead of me. I need to get through Lake Michigan, then up St. Mary's River, and then I'll onto Lake Superior and continue the voyage there. I'm pretty tired. I've been getting up every 30 minutes, 20-30 minutes to check everything, get the radar going, so that was helping my mind a little bit, but nonetheless had to get up and ensure everything is good. It's almost noon and the waves have risen a bit. They're about 2 feet, occasional 3, so it's really rocky. I'm moving at about 3.5 knots. I should probably adjust the sails to gain some more speed. Well, thus far I completed 124 nautical miles. So the lake is about 330 up, and then once I enter Huron and continue up St. Mary's into Lake Superior, that's gonna start clocking the rest of the miles. I'm still going north, actually about 15 degrees right now, but eventually I'm gonna move towards the center of the lake, further away from the coast. I'm not sure how far I am, but I'm a little bit away from the western coast of Wisconsin. But I'm gonna move a little bit more towards east. That supposedly will be the pattern of the wind, but as people who sail on Lake Michigan know, it can change at any moment. Anyway, so it continues. Hopefully I'll gain some more speed when I adjust the sails. This is where I'm now. I just wish I moved a little bit faster, but the waves definitely slowing me down. It's almost 2 o'clock now, and there's a little bit of a front line coming. It may pack some wind through the one reef. So I geared up, got my vest, my tether, just ready in case I need to go on the bow. It's interesting how these form those long sausage-like fronts. This one is definitely not as menacing as some that I've seen in the past. Usually they're pretty easy to cross, but then right behind it is a very heavy wind. Obviously there is a pressure change. Right now we have still 12 knots of true wind. The boat is moving at about 4.5 knots. We'll see what this is gonna amount to. This is a percussion. I took the Yankee in 2 and deployed staysail. It's always easier to shake out the reef than put it on when you get caught in a heavy weather. So that's just a prudent thing to do. We'll see what's gonna happen. When you prepare it, nothing happens. And actually, from afar, it looked more like a front, but I don't think this is actually a front. It's just some clouds, maybe some rain, probably some wind too, but nothing that front would carry with it. See? All right, it turns out it was nothing. There's blue sky behind it. There is absolutely no increase in wind. It stays about 11 knots, 12 knots true. So I'm gonna shake the reef, get some speed. 5 o'clock now, 11 true wind, moving about 4 to 4.5. You the distance, you can see this little white spot. It's a Lake Express. It's almost 9 p.m. second night. There is American Integrity passing me at the stern. It's a cargo ship. And thus far, nice night, although there's some storms apparently up north on the western side. So I'm gonna be tacking pretty soon and continuing towards the eastern side as those seem to go west-south. But it's absolutely gorgeous night. A little squall passing by. Nature is the best artist. It's a little sporty out here. About 25 knots, gusting to 30. And it's going to be like that all night and all day tomorrow. The whole another side of sailing. I'm back in the cabin. I'm gonna try to catch some Z's. It's still blowing the same. Nice and comfortable down below. The sails are reefed and it's comfortable but loud ride. Good night. So 12 hours of this and probably another 12, if not more. Still heading north. At night I heard something drop, something metal hitting the deck. I went outside, I couldn't see anything. And early in the morning today, something fell out of the mast. So I went outside, I started checking this and it turned out that this was a radar reflector. So the screws, the bolts that were holding it in place just came undone, and the reflector fell down. Luckily, I have it. It didn't fell overboard. So, but it was quite an event. Still having very high winds. Well, not very high winds, but at 25, gusting to 30, occasional 35. But the problem is it's on the nose, so I'm not making any headway, which is very frustrating because I'm losing very limited time that I have to get up north to Lake Superior. So we'll see what's gonna happen. I'm afraid that I'm gonna have another 12 hours of this at least. Yeah, very tired. The seas are slowly coming down. It's still blowing quite a bit, and the waves are subsiding. But I didn't sleep for the last 2 days, or at least not much. So I'm pretty exhausted right now. I'm moving at about. I'm reefed, so I'm moving at about 3 knots north, so making progress, at least that. So it's second day, afternoon. It's about 30 knots, 25 true, 30 apparent. The waves are subsiding, so it's pretty good run. I mean, right in the middle of the lake. And supposedly it's gonna be like that until tomorrow daybreak. It's a little noisy, a little messy here. Pounding a little bit on some of those larger waves. But other than that, it's a pretty good ride. I started reading a new book. Here's the chart zoomed in, and that's how the lake is inside now. 4 to 6 feet. Occasionally, some are probably a little bit bigger. But overall, it's not bad. Night at sea, and another beautiful sunset. It doesn't show on the video, but the sun is red, fluorescent red, glowing. Really beautiful. Something is not right. The hydrogen is cranking anywhere from 4 to 7, 8 amps. When it goes in greens, it says that floating mode in progress, so the battery is fully charged. But if I go to those batteries, I'm drawing out of those batteries, I'm not putting anything in. So I should be charging the batteries. Third day at sea, after all that wind last 24 hours and waves. Beautiful day, very nice and cool outside. Absolutely fantastic day. Not moving exactly the direction I want, unfortunately. Every time I go up north, I get wind on the nose. But I'm zigzagging. My VMG is terrible. All right, it's time to have breakfast. Western shore of Michigan. Beautiful day. Good wind of 13, true wind. Michigan West Coast is absolutely beautiful. one at the bow. Read my book. I may pull the jib a little bit later. This is fourth night at sea, another beautiful sunset, but I was hoping it's gonna be quiet and we're gonna have a relaxing night, but it doesn't look like it. They're calling for 25 to 30 knot winds and waves are building. They wouldn't be bad if not that they're very short frequency. That's what slams the bow. Just it's not good for the boat and makes also unpleasant noise when you try to sleep. When they spaced out, it's actually a nice ride. They're mostly not spaced out. Tomorrow will come down. Today is a small craft advisory. There's the sun. These are nice rollers actually. So in case you were wondering how does it sound inside the boat, hopefully you can hear it. This is actually not too bad right now, but imagine the boat is a guitar and you're inside the box and Neptune is playing the strings. It's not bad yet. Sometimes it will slam so hard that it feels like somebody's outside. Something like that, but it can get worse. At least I'm making my head up north. I'm a little bit, maybe 20 degrees, 25 of course, but making my way up, so that's good. I'm gonna get towards the middle of the lake and then I'm gonna tack back again towards the western shore of Michigan and continue up to the islands. Tomorrow it should quiet down a little bit, so it will be a little bit easier sailing. So now time to take a nap. Oh, it's nice here behind the Dodger. It's actually pretty cold wind, lots of spray, and occasionally a big spray runs right into the Dodger. The whole cockpit is pretty wet. Small adjustment to the wind vane and now it's working better. Oh, that was a big spray just came on the Dodger. Slam. The alarm that keeps going off, it's a winds greater than 25 knots warning. Actually, I set it to 30 now. I thought I turned it off and it's still Must be on one of the instruments set for warning. Keeps on coming on all the time. Something happened with my radar, and I don't know if I can trust it anymore. From time to time, it says that there's no data or disappears, says no radar, or there are timeouts. Not really sure why. Check all the wiring, although there are like 18 connections at the mast. Oh, no spoke data, there you go, just went away. So, I don't know, it's been extremely useful, especially when I solo, for guard zones and alarms. We'll see. At 4:30 in the morning, it nicely cleared up. There are a few gusts from time to time, but it looks like a clear, really clear night. Oh, excuse me. Oh, it picked up a moment ago. It was like 8. I'm going the best direction, so I'm gonna tack. Alright, maybe an hour passed and the wind has almost completely died down. I mean, it's just so low that now it's picking up, of course, because I got up. Boat is bobbing and the main is flopping back and forth, making a ton of noise down below. Beautiful morning on the 4th day. In a distance, there's South Manitou and North Manitou Islands. These two, that's where I am, and I'm gonna go that way. 5th sunset of the trip, 5th night. Could use a little bit more wind, but there's South Manitou and North Manitou coming up. I'm moving about 2.5 knots. It's very, very pretty. Of hazy eyes and dreams of fame, my brain's insane, and it hurts. And you call this living, I call this pain. Call this madness, it's all the same. There's a tug. Beaver Island is building up. I was just back in here. There's so many new houses. It's just since when I was here last year. Doing a little bit cooking here, so actually just heating up the stove. And these are two pieces of pike fish that a gentleman by the name Scott gave me as I arrived at Beaver Island. Okay, so the fish is in, and it's been already 7 minutes. It's pretty thick, so I gotta keep it longer to like 12, 14, but I think it's coming along pretty well. Okay, so fish is ready. Just gonna make some tomatoes, some cucumber. This is actually the Origo alcohol 2-burner stove. This is where the alcohol container goes for the oven part. Love the stove. The oven is, I think, good too. I've used it quite a number of times. One thing that you gotta be really, really careful with this. The vents are over here. The air comes up and makes all this surface area extremely hot. The handle has no protection. This is the latch that opens and closes the oven. All of this is extremely hot. So if you forget and get in a cooking mode and just grab it, you're gonna really burn yourself. Other than that, I think they're very safe. They may not be as efficient as propane, but I'll take the safety over everything else. I have a blanket, fire blanket here just in case. You never know. I've heard a story on a boat when they were cooking and things went ablaze. All right, so the dinner is ready. So I mentioned earlier that the fish was given to me, but this guy, he was anchored at Garden Island, which is north from Beaver Island. That's where he caught the fish. So the cucumber has been given to me by a friend of mine who grew it in his garden. So I'm very excited to have the fish, the cucumber, and simple but tasty. Sunrise over Beaver Island. Beautiful morning. Making some morning coffee. I should have gotten up earlier and made the coffee before I met with Matt and Cloud W. Fogg for the little interview, because I was exhausted. Anyway, gonna fire it up. Coffee is ready. So I've arrived at Beaver Island for the first time probably about 5 or 6 years ago. So Beaver Island has a really fascinating history besides this place being absolutely beautiful. But there was a self-proclaimed king at some point too. So it's a little interesting history. But something concerning that is happening here on the island now. Pre-COVID, you could actually purchase a house over here relatively inexpensively. And during COVID and after COVID, people started buying property over here, land, and building new houses. And these were all outsiders for the most part, and that caused an influx of people here. And I hope this will not cause the island to lose its character. But the more concerning part of it is that the island becomes slowly unaffordable for the locals, and which would be absolutely terrible if the influx of outsiders would push the people that go generations growing up over here. And it's really sad that this is actually happening. Interestingly, that reminds me a similar story for Portugal. Portugal offered the Golden Visa program, and you could purchase a place relatively inexpensively, and you could seek a residence in Portugal. And a lot of people from Britain, from US and other places did actually that, but that drove prices to the point that the locals were not able to afford any place and buy a place for themselves. So Portugal eventually discontinued that program, to protect their own citizens and their own population. So very sad. I hope this will not happen. And it's not gonna go like that at Beaver Island because it's just such a unique place and unique part of the Midwest. It would be very sad if that actually happened here as well. Planning my departure, I'm trying to figure out what would be the best time, best wind. So I think I'm gonna leave on Saturday at 4 a.m. That puts me at about, I believe, was 10 or 9 a.m. at the German island. So that's the plan for now. Leaving Beaver Island, Emerald Isle is coming in. Beautiful afternoon, but wind is dying, and I am on my way to Grey Reefs Passage. Right now it's 10 true and I'm going downwind. I hope it picks up a little bit. Sails are nicely trimmed. We're doing 6'2", 692 nautical miles this far, and 13 knots true wind. Very nice. Right now, no ships to worry about, and I'm gonna make something to eat. There's a little island marked with a lighthouse. A little bit of a spit of land. It's all the same. This is how it looks like on the chart. I'm almost tempted to drop an anchor and row to the island.
I built a castle out of sound, but it crumbled to the ground. Still I dance in what remains, a ghost of joy inside the pain. And you call this living, I call this pain, call this madness, it's all the same.
About to go under the Mackinac bridge. It's always a weird feeling. It just, you wonder if you're gonna make it under. As it approaches, it looks like you're not, but there is plenty of space. It's really strange. The wind over here picked up too. Bye-bye, Lake Michigan. Hello, Lake Huron. I'm at this very pretty Anchorage. It took me 2 hours to get via very narrow channels where the depth was reaching as low as 1 foot at some point. So this is a chain of islands and channels between those islands. It's a very shallow area, but it's absolutely gorgeous. Island right in the middle over there. It's quite interesting. It's called Dollar Island, where the house stands. Must have been some pretty dollar. I passed it last night. I saw the island, but did not see any lights. Didn't even know that there is a house. There is a narrow passage coming. There's another little island. And here we have US, Argentina, United Kingdom. I think I'll claim this island for myself. So I'm approaching now Hessel Marina in Hessel Bay, getting very close, so I'm gonna be getting ready to dock. It's my view for tonight. There's a little schooner. I saw it earlier. Finished installing a new anchor, Manitou, 55 pounds, so there will be quite a bit to pull. But it's all done and set. There will be the storm anchor and the 35 pounder that was here before. It's gonna go on the port side. It will be just regular anchor. Rainy day in Hessel Bay, but it's absolutely beautiful. So I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna do next. Whether continue to Lake Superior or go to Beaver Island and start slowly coming back to Chicago. I'd love to go to Lake Superior, but I'm not sure if I'll be able to do it time-wise. It's rainy and a little cold. Absolutely gorgeous. I'm leaving Hessel Marina right now. It's a gorgeous day, beautiful wind, really fantastic day for sailing. And I'm gonna proceed to Harbor Island. I need to go to Beaver Island, pick up my medication, but I just went through migraine, really bad one, so I think I'll chance it. Usually there's a few days in between, and I'll go there for a little bit. So just gonna leave the Les Cheneaux Islands, and then I'm gonna be in the open water. There is, like I said earlier, there's a narrow channel, and I'm going through what's called the west entrance and now west exit, and I'll be out by Mackinac Island and Lake Huron. Not a bad place to sunbathe. So I'm going relatively shallow water here, but I should have enough under my keel to pass without an issue. There are a bunch of cormorants over there. Close to detour. So for dinner today, we're gonna have filet in Dijon mustard sauce and some bread. So I'm looking for something easy and quick to make. No traffic right now, no big ships on the horizon or AIS. 5 p.m. Sun is pretty low now. There's still very nice breeze, anywhere from 15 to 17 knots. And that's me riding the channel. So there is already here about 2.5 knot current. As far as I know, what I've read on St. Mary's is about 2 knots. It makes sense. Depth here is 112. Moving at 5 knots, I have 17 true wind, I reefed the mainsail, and I just have a staysail. There's the quarry up close now. So I'm officially in the detour passage. There's Drummond Island there. It's a ferry. The Surveyor Island. So I'm at anchor right now at Harbor Island in Anchorage here. We're a little bit open right now, but there is a powerboat down further. I couldn't go that deep. So the wind's supposed to shift and I'll be protected by this over here. Sunday 5 p.m. gonna be about 20 knots, so usually it's more, so it's gonna be probably 25. I have a pretty nice scope for the anchor, and I think I'm gonna be here pretty well protected where I am, so that should be fine. Once this passes, I'm gonna set out and start making my way back. So the boat is set up for the night at the anchor. There are some lights further ashore. There's a storm coming actually, and there's not a power boat but it's over here at the Anchorage. Gonna go make some dinner. Okay, so the storm is getting closer and closer. The bow starts bouncing. There are waves, higher waves coming in, but it's moving real fast, so hopefully it will pass over real fast and hopefully the anchor won't drag. But that's the situation right now, so we'll see what's gonna happen. So this is all nerve-wracking. I don't know if you can hear the wind. It's gusting to 28 now, and the storm is probably will be here in an hour. The wind was supposed to be from the protected side, but it's not. It moves a little bit, but most of it comes, well, there was just lightning. It mostly comes right from the open from the mouth of the harbor. So yeah, it's gonna be another 2 hours of this, and then what time is it? It's 12:15. So yeah, another 2 hours of this, and then the wind's supposed to be coming down. So we'll see. Fingers crossed. I hope the anchor will hold, and I won't have any middle of the night surprises. Good night. Yeah, it's 2 a.m. It finally passed. Wind also shifted where it's supposed to be, so now I'm nicely protected, but the wind went down to about six, from 6 to 10 knots. Rained for a little bit, and now it's just really nice and quiet. Very peaceful. So finally I'm gonna be able to get some sleep. Cheers. Good morning from a beautiful Anchorage. Oh, it's so nice to wake up to this. Quickly. But for those that can get over there, it's very windy, but I may still take the dinghy and go ashore. So this is called Harbor Island. This is my plot from last night at anchor. It was gusting to 28. Now it's gusting to 20. A little chilly and still very windy. Good morning. And all the wind is gone. Looks like the sailboat that was here left too, just a bunch of fishermen. Everybody is fishing. Time to make some coffee. Okay, for some of you that are thinking about buying a boat and looking at whether the boat has a windlass installed or not, I have a story. So I was at an Anchorage and there was a group of people that saw me pull the anchor by hand. I don't have a windlass on this boat, and this is 43-foot boat with 55-pound anchor. So I met these people later on in a marina, and they approached me and they said that, oh, we saw you pull the anchor. That must have been really, really hard. And what people don't realize, that if you do it right, it's actually not hard at all. Even if it's 55 pounds and with good holding, it just takes time. You gotta be patient. You gotta let the boat work the anchor out. There's not a lot of wind, maybe 3-4 knots right now, so it's gonna be really easy. Make sure your sails are ready, that all lines are connected, everything is prepared to be hoisted right away, because the moment that anchor lifts off the ground, you're free. The boat will start moving. So if you're in a tight area, you're running a risk of getting stuck aground. So again, best thing is prep your sails, be ready to take off, and otherwise just use your engine, turn the engine on, put it in neutral, pull everything on, and then you can just quickly go back and put in gear and move forward. I'm gonna prep the halyard for the main. I have all other lines pretty much ready, or the jib sheets, Yankee sheets, and staysail. First of all, have your gloves ready. Could be old sailing gloves or regular heavy-duty gloves, garden gloves, something of that sort. That's especially true if you have chain. I have chain, and then I have a 3-strand nylon rod. So the nylon rod is relatively easy, but it still helps to have gloves on. But if you have a chain, you definitely want to use gloves. So it actually did not work the way I wanted to depict it on the video. I had zero wind, there were no waves, the boat didn't move up and down at all, and it did not work the anchor out. I did use the engine, I drove onto the rod, and that's the way I got the anchor out. All right, off we go. Beautiful harbor island. That's it. This is where I was. Peppered with islands. Oh, I can see. This is fantastic. Just had a bee stop by the boat, fed her some honey. I guess I owed her. And don't know what happened with her. I need to look. She might be still aboard. She was trying to fly. She seemed to be resting. And I'm heading to Beaver Island to pick up my medication at the airport and continue back home. Although this here feels far more like home. It's hard to describe it. My bee is still here. She might be dying. She ate, so I'm hoping that helped her, but she, I don't know what she's doing, but she doesn't look well. We'll see what's gonna happen with her. I got food here, and she can rest. A little chilly, but I'm trying to relax a little bit, take a little nap. I'm still on Lake Huron and heading towards Mackinac Straits. Bee check time. She's here. She started walking a little bit. So this is the second feeding now. Oh, she's trying to fly. She's got a little bit more energy now, I guess. She likes the yellow jackline. I guess it reminds her of a flower. She's been sitting here for about 30-40 minutes now. Here is an update on the bee. The bee was tucked in under the jack line. So I gently picked her up. I put it here because I thought she was cold. Gave her more honey. She ate a little bit of, and then she flew. She first flew there, and then she flew away, and she's gone. I don't see her anywhere. I think the wind picked her up the moment she got out into the cockpit. That's it. I think I killed the bee. That's the bee news. Beautiful night. There's only about 8 knots of wind right now. Before it was about 16, 17, so it staysail out. I'm gonna furl the staysail in, unfurl the Yankee. The sky is over here just fantastic. Oh, it's just peppered with stars. Something you don't see in Chicago. All right, let's get to work. So I just unfurled the Yankee and furled away the staysail. It was barely moving. Now there's 9 true wind, I'm doing 5-4. There's the Mackinac Bridge. 6 a.m. over here. It's getting brighter, and to the right is Mackinac Island. This is Les Cheneaux cruise ship. This beautiful sunrise. And there's another ship in the distance. You can see the fort, Mackinac Island Fort. La Champlain. I just heard him drop his anchor. Another cruise ship. .38 nautical miles thus far. Still more to go. Beautiful, but a little bit chilly morning. I'm yet to have some coffee. It's 8 o'clock Eastern time right now. I'm making my way to cross the Mackinac Bridge, going westbound, back towards Lake Michigan. Need to stop by at Beaver Island, pick up my medication, and then I should be going all the way back to Chicago. I shot Tom has caught up with me. And night. It's quite a fresh breeze, about 16, 15 knots. So this is the last view of Beaver Island. Now I'm heading now back to sea. Now this time down back to Chicago. So that's going to be, depending on conditions, wind. It's going to be 4 days, nights of sailing non-stop. There's a storm that it's brewing, and supposedly it's gonna hit on Saturday a little further down, so I may not actually catch any of it, or maybe some rain, so we'll see how it goes. But weather on Great Lakes changes very quickly, so it's hard to tell. Conditions are light. There's 12 knots of true wind. A little hazy, sunny, just beautiful. Very, very nice. So I'm gonna set everything and take a nap. Because I'm up very early in the morning. I sailed most of the night. So here we go. Cheers. Gusty. So I mentioned earlier there's about 12 knots of true wind, but it's gusting to 18, 19. Right now we have 115 in climbing. But other than that, the lake, the water is pretty flat. So I'm zipping through it. Sailing my counter rig Southern Cross to Chicago now. This whole setup is really useful, especially when you're single handing, and it's just so much easier to have that readily available selection of sails. Another thing I've learned sailing offshore, that you should never rush. For various reasons, you should never rush and ignore weather. But also on a boat in general, think ahead. It's like playing chess. If you have to rush with something and it got to the point and situation where you have to run around and reef or change something, that usually means you were too late. There is no need for this from safety perspective. So think ahead, be careful, take your time, and try to make sound decisions, then rest. And long distance sailing, the most important thing is get rest as much as you possibly can. When you solo, it's easier said than done, but it's important. And eat well, hearty food. Don't make anything fancy. I found like a beef stew or something of that sort, nice and warm, filling your tummy. It's the best thing. It works for me at least. Cheers. Oh, so this never gets old. It's so beautiful. It's another sunset. Gonna have another 4 to 5 nights at sea. It's very peaceful, beautiful. So thus far, 1,202 nautical miles. The night is fantastic. It's not too cold, unlike yesterday. Yesterday was really cold. I had a heater down below running. South Fox, North Fox Islands are right about there. And it just picked up. I was motoring for a little bit. It's about 4 or 5 knots. Now it's 9, 10. Sometimes jumps to 11, about 1 foot, maybe half a foot waves, so very comfortable right now. We'll see how long it lasts. 0 waves. I really wish you could see the sky. It's just can't catch it with this phone. But 10 knots of wind, it's been steady, and I'm making way towards North Manitou Island. Feels like I'm gliding. Oh, I see Starling constellation and a falling star. This reminds me last year when I was coming back from Holland, Michigan. I had similar conditions, 0 waves, good steady wind, and just gliding through the water. Those moments don't happen very often, but when they do, it's just absolutely fantastic. We're gonna go catch some Z's now. Early morning, it's around 6 o'clock or 6 or 7. Going towards the interior of Lake Michigan. Another sailboat under engine though. North Manitou Island. From afar, without glasses, she looks like another sailboat with its really white walls. Reflects very well the sun. I have a companion here. I think it's a fishing skiff. He's zipping. And there's South Manitou with its lighthouse. It's a beautiful place, really nice anchorage. I wish I had more time to stop over there for a couple nights. Great hiking trails. You can actually go up the lighthouse. Ate, had coffee, and passing between South Manitou and mainland. And I'm gonna head down. There's a storm coming, but the wind's supposed to change to northerly, so I should have a really nice ride down. At 3 p.m. supposed to be about 20 knots. So I'm gonna reef my sails, get ready when the time comes a little closer, and I should zip straight down. Right now it's Thursday, and right now I should be there by Friday late evening, early Saturday in Chicago. That's the plan. Shores of North Manitou. Wind has just picked up to 17, 18 knots. There is a front coming. You can see it here. And it stretches all the way. It's time to reef the sails and get ready for this. So I have a staysail out. I'm gonna reduce my main to a second reef. I have 2 reefs. The second one is just much deeper. And I should be ready for this. So the reef is in. And I'm waiting for the front to come. It's still on its way. So in this sail configuration, I may not be the fastest. I'm making barely 3 knots in the second reef, which again, I have only 2 reefs. The second reef is much deeper. But since I'm not racing, I far prefer to get back versus go fast. So I will take my time. Cheers. It looks like it's dissipating. North Manitou. It's like a down comforter.
At the beginning of the video I mentioned that this is a sail to Thompson Island on Lake Superior, but unfortunately I didn't make it over there. I forgot my migraine medication, and because of that I lost quite a bit of time. I had the medication flown to Beaver Island, and by the time I got it, I ran out of time to continue up to Lake Superior. So I stayed at the Harbor Island, and that was as far as I got.
All geared up for heavy wind and rain. Hopefully there will be no lightning, but there's definitely a chance for it. That's how it looks. Well, this one is much bigger than the other one. This will pack some wind. How dark this looks. It has just passed over me thus far. Still only about 17-18 knots of wind, so there may be more coming. There's a sleeping bear point. Gray and rainy. I think I'm gonna have this all the way down. I'm finally picking some speed. I shook off one of the reefs, so I'm on first reef right now. I'm not moving fast, but I'm moving. Yeah, I go rest now a little bit. I had to gear up twice. Still beautiful. Gosh, I love it. Look at this. Magnificent. So this is the sky right now, and it was like that since yesterday. It's blowing 23 to 30. I just put second reef on. It's 25 right now, but it's gusting to 30, 32. So the hardest part is the sleep deprivation. Last night, because of the high winds and I couldn't get the boat in a groove, I spent probably until 3 a.m. behind the wheel. I was finally able to get the boat moving nicer a little bit later. I was able to snooze for an hour. There's not much traffic right now, but it's exhausting, and especially doing those long haul for Great Lakes, long haul 5-7 day trips non-stop. So you never get in a groove. You never get to a point that you get enough. You don't get in a rhythm to really get some rest. So I don't know if anyone has any suggestions, but I think it is what it is. Otherwise, you know, it's 20 minutes, 30 on and off. I use AIS and radar for traffic. Obviously, radar in this type of sea for small little fishing boats is not effective, but I would hope they're not in a weather like that, and they're not. So that's a good thing. And I usually don't do coastal sailing, so that helps. But if anybody has any ideas how to deal with it, comments would be welcome. Sustained 31, 32. It's cold as hell. I think that's the worst part. morning. It's 6 a.m. Cold as hell. Slowly making my approach to Montrose Harbor here in Chicago. It's blowing 27, and just the cold is the worst part. The boat is nicely moving. It's reefed and ready for this weather, but it's cold. Now docking will be a whole another story. I think the wind will be pushing me into the dock, which would be nice, but if not, I may set at the pump out dock temporarily just to wade it through and then move the boat safely into the dock. So we'll see how that's gonna go, but about 2 hours away from that. Cheers. So just landed in Chicago, 1,627 nautical miles. It was gusting to 18, 17 here in the harbor, so a couple of friends came over and helped me dock, and I'm going to take a shower, eat something, and go to sleep. Cheers.